Girls, don't cut me out.
I was like, what's funny? I give you a nice welcome and, drop the bomb. Welcome to Linkage Radio. It's amazing. What's amazing is, when you're also on air, so you know that it's so important to support females in the business. You know that.
Yes. Oh.
And I want to make sure that, CHYNA Nicole goes down to say in the records of the archives to say CHYNA Nicole was not one of the haters in the business. That I do support females, especially females with genuine spirits and genuine hearts like yourself. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome to the CHYNA Nicole show. Congratulations on your achievement, just this past weekend. The phone's already lining Mullings.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I did a half-hour segment of your music, and
I have to apologize. I kind of got it. I thought to give you some more.
Yeah, I'm taping this archive, and it's you're coming a little bit choppy. Do you want to? Yeah, I don't know why. But the other phone is working. Linkage is upgrading his studio, and it's like, so we can continue on the Skype line, but I am recording it. So, if you get the archive and you're like, it's clear, I'm just letting you know. So you want to continue on the Skype?
Yes, is this okay? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, because it's not as clear. We want to make sure, you get proper archive.
Okay.
So, now, we read your bio. We know that you started at the age of 15, but walk us through, your home life with your dad. I know he's prominent in the industry. He was very prominent in the industry, and his legacy still lives on. Are you calling me on the other phone now, Tanya?
No, I haven't called. I'm talking on here.
The phone's, it's just crazy. So, yeah, tell us about your childhood life, your mom, your dad, people who influenced you early on.
Yes, is this okay, or do you want me to call you back?
Yeah, you know what? Call me on the other phone because I really want you to get a good feed.
Is this the same number I'm calling you on?
The 914-662-6060. Call on that one.
I don't have that number.
You don't have that one? You have a pen near you, dear? You have a pen?
Yes, sorry about that.
No.
Say it again?
914. 662.
662.
6060.
6060.
That's because you have a big team, and everyone has that information. They're not going to funnel that to you until you need it.
Okay.
All right. Okay, cool. She is a sweet soul, and I did mention to everyone here on Linkage that I met her years ago, and she introduced herself right off the stage, and she was wonderful and smiling. And this was over 10 years ago. I was backing up, and let's get a better feed now. Let's make sure this is her. Linkage Radio, you're live. Linkage Radio, you're live. Can you hear me? Linkage Radio.
Yes, it's Tanya calling back.
Yay, you sound much clearer. Awesome. You sound very clear. Good. Because this is a new phone. And so anyway, let's get to your interview. Now, tell us about your childhood, Tanya. We're talking to Tanya Mullings, everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, the musical piece. Like, how was it in your home? Did you grow up with your mom and dad? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I grew up with my mom and dad. My mom's Canadian and dad is Jamaican. And dad's been doing music since the 60s coming up. So I was always around music in my house. I grew up with people like my dad used to manage Jackie Matu. He had a lot of the veterans in the business. He helped out Hopeton Lewis. He had a group called the Cougars, the Cavaliers. He traveled like from Jamaica to Canada. So a lot of the artists, Jojo Bennett from Satellite, a lot of them were around the house all the time when I was growing up. So I was always around music from day one.
Who was your favorite, like, in the home? You mentioned Jackie Matu, and God bless you for just being able to be around him, because I just honor his work just with the stuff that I know of with Studio One. How was he? What was he like?
Oh, I mean, well, we were young. Jackie passed away, I think it's 1990, if I'm correct. So, like, would just be around. They play the keyboards, and it just seemed not. It didn't. It. I don't know if it's maybe you understand it because you're around it. When you're in it, you don't see the big deal at that.
Right.
It becomes so like you're just in the home.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like, whoa, that's Jackie. Well, other people wouldn't probably react like that, but Jackie was like basically like an uncle to us, right? So we wouldn't be like as excited as a reaction as a normal person coming in the home saying, wow, you got to see Jackie. You know what I mean?
He's trademarked as one of the best keyboardists in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, he's the best. Like, I didn't get to, unfortunately, when he fell ill, I just started in the business. But, I mean, we had done live shows together.
Awesome.
But no recordings together. He had fell ill, and I remember him saying to me that after all the work my dad has done with him, he felt like that he didn't feel good that he never got the chance to like work with me. But I said, you taught me a lot already,
Absolutely.
So just to say I can know him, and he had the right words to tell me to go forward, and I'll hold that close to me.
You are very special. You had all these people around you and giving you those jewels at such a young age. And I can just see you. I can see you just being that, beautiful little girl, just around all these amazing people and just being richly blessed like that. Your voice is amazing. You have that alto, rich, sultry sound, which to me, if I was to compare it to like people that I love in R&B, it's like the Phyllis Hymans, the Anitas. I'm not saying you sound exactly like them, but they have those kind of textures in your voice. And I'm an alto singer too, so... Yeah, so I love that. So okay, so
and they're like,
yep.
Hello?
Yeah. I'm here. We're here.
Yeah, they look at me and I'm not 5'4". I'm a small
I know.
A lot of people look and say, that came out of you. As a big girl,
Yeah. Yeah, you are tiny. So,
I remember actually being in Bobby's digital studio, and I was sitting on the floor, and he was playing a track to mix it, and somebody came in, and I was just quiet on the floor. It was only me, Bobby, and the gentleman that walked in, and he was like, Bobby, who that? He said, it's her. And he says, I see you walking here every day, man. If I was like that, I'd be pushing up my chest.
Absolutely. You do have an amazing, huge, monstrous voice of your little body. And it's monstrous in a big way, in a beautiful way. So growing up, you're welcome. So growing up in your home around all the greats and your dad managing Jackie Matu. I'm just reiterating what you're saying so audiences can know the magnitude of the core of your music and where it stemmed from. And who did you listen to? I know you had the reggae greats around you. Any genres outside of reggae that you two early on?
Well, actually, just before I forgot, like the first person who voiced me when I was 15 was Alton Ellis. I got to work with him. Like he took my vocal on my first recording, so I got to work with him. But the funny thing is, my dad has always been into reggae, but when I started to sing, I wanted to be an R&B vocalist.
Really? Yeah, I hear some R&B. The curves in your voice and the reflect the inflections, and I hear that. The runs, R&B style. Yeah.
Exactly. And then my dad was like, man, I can't be in this reggae thing. Yeah, my dad does not sing reggae.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, I want to do my R&B. And I'll tell you a story that's funny, and I haven't really talked about this.
Yeah.
Because of you talking about the runs.
Uh-huh.
When I first, they wanted to put me on a reggae rhythm. You know how the rhythm, you got to kind of cut your nose short.
Yeah. Yes. I have that problem all the time.
Used to the run, so then next thing I know, I'm trying to voice on these rhythms, and I'm like, I'm holding a note in the rhythm, go on left.
I can relate. In the early years too, yeah.
Yeah, Dad used to say, no, you have to cut that one shot. So
Yeah.
I was on a learning process to cut like my vocal skills that I did in R&B to like holding back a certain way on the reggae track.
So who did you listen to? And because I read your bio, and just for the interview purposes, you can name some people that you were around in reggae, and you name a few. But who else you want to mention in reggae and R&B or pop or other genre, jazz, whatever genre?
Of course, I was listening to, of course, the Mariah Carey and Whitney. And I think every girl sings that. Whitney and Mariah Carey.
Right, the greats.
Those are, yeah, that's who I listen to. I like Gladys Knight. I really like her. I didn't put that in my bio, but that's a vocalist that I like.
Of course, can't put everything there, you know.
Yeah, and of course, when they asked me reggae, I said I would say Marcia Griffith, who everybody says. Cynthia Slash is another one that I look up to. She was very close to my family as well.
Really? I interviewed Maritone, Winston Maritone Blake the other day and relived a little bit of that moment. That's cool. How was she working with her?
Oh, she was like, well, I didn't work with her, but I mean, I know.
Oh, you just knew her. Right, okay.
Yeah, she was very close to my aunt, my dad's sister.
Okay.
My aunt passed away with cancer. And
I'm sorry.
Loss was basically by her side right to the end.
Wow.
And Cynthia was actually the first, she got me on my first Sunsplash.
Did she really? Awesome.
Yeah, she did.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Big up to Monty Blake. I'm sure. You want to big up to Maritone because they're probably listening. Monty's a favorite friend of the show.
Yes, Monty big up. I mean, Maritone, he's like my family. Like my family.
Yeah.
I see him every time he comes into Brampton. I go and visit him. So
That's nice.
It's like a connection. We have a connection. It's like visiting my daddy when I go see him.
That's nice. That's so cool. Yeah. Did your mom play any role at all? I know your dad was this mogul with managing greats. Did your mom play any role in your life musically?
Well, she wasn't really into the music. I mean, she met my father when she walked into the music. Here in Toronto, when he came here, he opened the club, and that's how they met. But my mom wasn't really like into the music. She would come to all the shows, and that. But she makes jokes and she tells everybody. When I was singing when I was little, she said Tanya would sing so much to the point you say, "Oh, shut up, Tanya," because I would sing the same song over and over again. She's not telling me to shut up now.
No, not with all these words, girlfriend. You are doing it big in such a very fairly young age too. So let's go into now. Before we talk about the big star, and all the multiple awards that you won, talk about how was it working when you were 15 years old? Your first recording with Alton Ellis.
That was good. Like I said, they came around, so at that young age, you know who they are, but not the reaction. I guess because we're young, you don't see like the magnitude of these artists at that time. You just look at them like they're Uncle Alton, you know?
Right.
And it's like, I used to actually, I can be honest on air and say, I used to think my dad would bring me around all these artists, and at that age, I'm like, man, I want a young thing. I want to do the young thing. That's how I was feeling, right?
Yeah.
And Dad just guided me, and now I can see, and I can be so grateful to say I am so glad I was, brought through.
You were immersed. Yeah, in reggae.
They taught me so much. I mean, if I wasn't taught from the veterans, I wouldn't know what I know today. And a lot of people can't. They work with these artists, like work with John Ford. When I say work with, I mean also shows. I was like 16, 17. Doing
I love him.
And you know, almost every veteran you can think of. When Hopeton came here, we did so many shows. Leroy Sybil, all of them guys. There's not one of them that you can't mess. Delroy Wilson, all of them I worked with, and I learned from them. I used to sit back and watch how they work at stage. Jay Douglas, he was the lead singer of my dad's band. He taught me how to work the stage. Like, I work with the greats. I sit back sometimes, and like I said this last weekend when I got the star, and I sat back, and it's like my whole career just flashed in front of my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, you're mentioning Delroy Wilson. Like, you're mentioning, these are, just to recap, I read this earlier, but just for archive purposes, Bobby Digital, which you just mentioned, Jack Scorpio, big up to Black Scorpio, who I'm working with right now, Danny Brown, Dalton Brown, which I worked with, Computer Paul Henton, we're in communication and drudging up some things in the future, Dub Madix, Morgan Heritage, Stephen McGregor, Fab Five, Annie Pitters, I'm just reading off here. Just to remind people, Robert Dubwise Brownie, Devontae, Bobby Treasure, Paul Green, that's what you're talking about who helped you work the stage? Paul?
No, those are producers.
All producers. Andrew Thomas, Dean Pond, Morris Gregory. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And they just mentioned Cynthia Slash brought you to Sunsplash. Oh my God.
Yeah, she got me on. She actually was here, and then she was talking to Dad, and she took the bio down, and next thing I was on it. That was my first Sunsplash.
And
That was in 90, if I'm correct, 92, I think.
92.
I might be off a year if I'm not correct.
Would you say that that's the biggest show that you would you say that that's the biggest as far as to see if people?
I did Sunsplash Sumfest on Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the festivals, the reggae Sunsplash and Sumfest is probably the biggest.
Yeah. Though they draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know offhand how much they drew?
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah.
All I know is that they have Sean after Sean like in the crowd, so there's a lot of way back.
Yeah, it does. It does. Just and here you are, 5'4", rocking the stage with your big voice.
Yeah, like a little dot. And I actually that year I felt so honored too because I got to work with, or maybe I don't know if that was the first year or second, but it was Lloyd Parks and We the People backing me. And I was like, Dennis Blake fan. Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I was like, that for an artist to work with them, and at that time it was like,
Even now, if you know Dean Frazier, I mean, these are Nambo, I mean, Chico, I mean, huge veterans. So your first award, you have many. I can't even count. I can't count how many awards you've won. And tell us about that. Tell us about your very first award, because you won several. So for people who don't know, 2012 she won her under a memorial for her dad, Carl Mullings. That was a 2012 Carl Mullings Memorial Award. 2012 Top Single Rescue Me, which I just played a couple times. I played it back to back, I think. 2011 Top Veteran Singer. So go ahead, talk about your first award. What was that like?
I think the first award I got, I'm probably off. It's hard to think back. I think the first award I got was probably 1990 from the reggae, the Canadian Reggae Music Awards. I think it was for Top Newcomer.
Very nice.
Yeah, I just started then because it started in 89.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the next one was like nomination for the Junos Awards because they
6-time nominee.
Yeah, 6-time nominations. And 93, I think, was the first time I was nominated alongside Snows and Former. That's when the reggae was inducted into the Junos.
Okay. Very nice.
So that was the first one. I mean, the second one. And then it went on to, I think I got one award one year from the Canadian Reggae Music Awards, and it was for Top Performer, and I got so excited. And my dad was like, why are you excited about that one? I said, but performing is my joy. I got more excited over that than Top Female Vocalist. Because I was like, Top Performer, yes, that was my thing. Because I used to take dancing as well. So I just like to perform. That's what I love. Yeah,
and congratulations on all of your awards. I mean, like I said, you won multiple awards. In your home, do you have them stacked up, and on the wall, or just an area in your home with all your awards?
Yeah, well, now I moved, so there's not stacked up on the wall.
You're a mover like myself. Nomad. I'm just kidding.
Right now they're in boxes.
Yeah.
Over 50, I think I have.
I mean, over 50 awards, and you're not even 50 yet. How do you feel?
No. It feels...
You're like, it feels good. Your little girl voice. It has to feel great. Okay, so talk about the star. I shared it on my page. I'm so proud of you. Even just being not only because I met you and you were a beautiful soul, but just being a female in this business and just understanding that you were actually recognized and to the point of getting your own star. You can go on the street in Ontario. That's what I love about Canada. They do embrace the reggae culture. They don't have it in New York. Not to say, I mean, there's some award shows, big up to Linkage and everyone who's trying to do, the greater good for the reggae community. But people pulling together to have that kind of, memorabilia, if you will, like a New York Hall of Fame of reggae. We don't have that. Talk about this amazing star that's in your name.
Well, this actually is held in Brampton. That's where I'm from. I was born in Toronto, but I live in Brampton now since I was 9. And they just started this star last year. They elected 5 people last year. This is the second year. So for me, when I got this information, I was getting the star. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Brampton community, they've always followed me. I've been awarded twice from the city, like with plaques. And I was surprised they still continue to follow my career.
Mm-hmm.
So when they called me, I was like, the first thing that came across my head is that, oh my gosh, my dad's legacy is gonna live on.
Yay! Yes.
Like tears.
Oh
And
my
then the
gosh.
next thing that came on is that finally reggae is being recognized at the level, like Hollywood style. Like
Yes, good. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I mean, we don't live in that community, and that's why I wanted to ensure that we let the people know and have this awareness that Tanya Mullings, reggae artist from this legend, her dad was a legend. Someone said I use that word, but for me, if you accomplish certain things in life, and you do have a legacy, and that's the teaching part of me. And everyone is born with genius inside of them, and for you to be recognized for your genius, Tanya Mullings, and to receive that, I'm so proud. We are proud of you. We really are.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Second year. So yeah. So tell us. So you got your star, and tell us what did you say? What is this afterward? Did you do a speech? We saw beautiful pictures online, and your after party.
I just cried to the whole thing.
Did you?
It was hard because it's like I don't think people realize, like those who don't see me online or know me personally, I'm very much like my father, and I push a lot of artists as well. And he was always like that. He always encouraged other artists, always mailed out the music with my music, and it was always about growing our industry.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people will sit there and I do things from the heart because I'm trying to grow the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really look for something out of it. And when somebody gains from something I might have helped them with, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And sometimes we work so hard and then you think, I don't do it to get back. But when I got this, I felt like all this hard work has paid off. You help others and it comes back to you.
That's right.
And and then I just felt like now I'm being rewarded for what I put into myself, what my dad's put in me, and what I've done to help others. And this to me was, I'm telling you, when I looked down on that star that day, I didn't even see my name Tanya. I
Saw your dad. You saw your dad.
And I saw my dad, and I said, yes, we did it. We did it. You know, I wish that star said Carl and Tanya Mullings, you know?
Yes.
And
Well.
said to me, my mom said something that Tanya, I know you love your dad, but this day, try for once to make it a moment for you because you've earned it as well. And I said, I don't know how to make it about me without Dad.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it was a big moment for me. And I have friends coming from all over to see this. And I know it's not just because of me. It's the legacy my dad has built as well. And they want to be by my side because my dad's not here now. So it was like with them being there, it was like keeping my dad being there.
You know, we're so proud of you. And any last words you want to say to your fans, your growing fans, and as you say, you're trying to help grow the industry? And where can people find you? Where can people find more information about you? Are you working on any projects? So these are the questions before we close. We have to go to commercial break because we're running late. Okay. So what projects are you working on now? Because I know the songs that I've gotten were previous releases.
Yeah. Well, right now, I gotta be honest with you, I've been on radio for 5 years, and I kind of got caught up with the radio thing. So I haven't been in the studio right now, but I had done some more work with Dean Pond and Maurice Gregory. That did Rescue Me. That was nominated for the, Maurice Gregory.
Yep, great song.
Yeah. And Dean Pond works with Shaggy. So we have some more material we're going to release.
Yay.
And, yeah. So
that's what happens when you get pulled into radio. I can tell you that just from being on it, long, and I'm glad, Dexter Blake has given me the opportunity to come back to radio. But that's what happens. It takes over because you're so busy wanting to ensure you present people and artists in the best way. And you forget about your own artistry. So that's why I'm dead tired. So yes, it's good for you to be back, that you love music. It's good that you're going to still record and not stop recording and, blessing the world with great music and entertainment.
people say, you know, oh, we want you back. We got to hear something. I said, yeah, you'll hear me still. But I'm just like, I'm the type of person. I've been doing it 26 years, and I'm like at the point, like, as long as I put in music, whatever it's doing,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. So, okay, so we can expect works from you, and leave us with some positive words.
Positive words.
For the new generation, for older generation, for fans, for people who are interested in music or just life. What you know, you mentioned you've been in the business 26 years and you have a slew of awards. So go ahead.
I would just say to any artist out there, be true to you and do what you believe. And I would also say, don't let anybody tell you you can't follow your dreams. Because trust me, I've had a lot of people say, you know, why are you chasing this? Why are you doing that? Why? And look, I just got a star on the Walk of Fame. You and I know that it's not easy road.
No.
There's a lot of bumps there, and you got to be in it for the right reason, not for the hype. You got to be in the music because you love it.
That's right.
And it's in your heart.
That's right.
So just follow what you're following. And speaking of follow, you can follow me on Instagram at Tanya Mullings.
Like the segue, Tanya.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
And then Tanya Mullings Music is on Facebook as well. So that's how you'll find me. I just got on the Instagram. People laughing at me. It's just loud up there.
I have like 3,000 something posts on Instagram. I don't play. My sister put me onto it last year, and I have like lot. I just put everything because it all feeds everywhere. Instagram, Twitter. So that way I just share one time and it goes everywhere. So that's just a little trick.
2 months ago, maybe I finally got on it.
Yeah, good. So we can follow Tanya Mullings on Instagram. Is it just going to be Tanya Mullings?
Tanya Mullings Music.
Tell him Tanya Mullings Music.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope we'll be able to come to New York to the live studio, to Linkage Studios, and you know, hopefully we'll be able to do it again, and who knows, maybe even on stage.
Yes, that would be nice.
Thank you so much once again, and big up to Sandra and your team, and NPR Consulting, and everyone who's professional behind you making it happen.
Yeah, thanks, girls. I mean, they've been the best. Trust me, they keep me in line.
Good. Best of luck to you, and we'll continue to support you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There are radio stations within the ear, but to this, none can compare. Trying to figure